Assalamualaikum everyone, my name is Khazari Aiwal. I am from Rehan School Karangi campus and today I am the student of foundation level class and today I am going to do CSAM task about the phrase what's the matter. So let's get started.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey Maya, how are you?
I'm doing great. Wait, did you mean your hair or was that a little glitch? What's on your mind?
So today I am here to ask you some question. You just have to answer me.
I'm in. Lay it on me. What do you got?
Okay, so first of all tell me what does the phrase what's the matter mean?
It's usually a way of asking what's wrong or what's happening. It's that thing people say when they notice you look a bit upset or stressed and they're trying to check in on you. Does that make sense?
So why do people ask this question when someone seems upset or worried?
It's a way of showing you're not alone in that moment. When you see someone struggling, asking that is like opening a door and letting them know you're available to listen if they want to talk. It's a basic human instinct to want to help when we see someone in pain.
So tell me that how can recognizing concern in other improve relationship?
It's like building a bridge of trust. When you actually see that someone is struggling and acknowledge it, it tells them that you're paying attention and that you actually care about their inner world. It turns a moment of stress into a moment of connection, which makes people feel safe enough to be honest with you. What do you think? Do you find it easier to open up when you know someone's already noticed you're off?
So now tell me that what are some common signs that a person may be troubled?
It's usually the little things that shift first, like someone who's always talkative suddenly going quiet, or maybe they're just not themselves, fidgeting more than usual, avoiding eye contact, or even just sounding a bit exhausted.
So
Sometimes it's as simple.
why is
Bye.
it sometimes difficult for people to share their problems?
See ya.
Why is it sometimes difficult for people to share their problem?
Bye bye.
So now tell me that have you ever noticed someone was worried before they told you and how?
Since I don't have eyes or a physical presence, I can't notice things the way you do. But I've heard that for a lot of people,
So now tell me that how does listening help when someone is facing a problem?
weight of it alone. Just knowing someone is truly present can lower the pressure and help them actually think clearly enough to find their own way out. Do you think people usually want a
So
solution
tell me
or just to be heard?
that what
I'm
is the
listening.
difference between concern and curiosity?
That's a really interesting distinction. Concern is coming from a place of care. It's wanting the other person to be okay because you value them. Curiosity, on the other hand, is more about a desire to know or understand. One is emotional and protective, while the other is an intellectual search for information. Does that feel like a clear difference to you?
Okay, so now tell me that how can
Got it.
asking what's the matter show empathy?
I'm not sure I follow. Could you explain what you mean by asking how that shows in fatigue?
So now tell me that
I'm here. What's on your mind?
okay, so now tell me that when should we respect someone's privacy instead of asking questions?
That's a tough balance to strike. It's usually about reading the room, like if they're giving one word answers or physically pulling away. Those are pretty loud signals that they need space. There's a difference between checking in and pushing for information. Do you feel like you've ever pushed a bit too hard when you were just trying to help?
So now tell me that when role does body What role does body language play in expressing concern?
It's huge. Body language is often the real conversation. A soft tone, leaning in, or even just a steady, calm gaze can signal that you're a safe space before you even open your mouth. It's what makes the words, "Are you okay?" feel genuine rather than just a polite formality. I wonder if you find certain gestures more reassuring than others when you're talking to someone.
So, can you tell me that how can schools and communities create supportive environments?
It really starts with normalizing the struggle. Supportive environments before we took a little detour.
Okay, so now tell me that why do some people hide their worries from others?
That's a really common human experience. People often hide things because they don't want to be a burden. Maybe they're afraid of being judged. There's also that feeling that if they just keep it inside, they can maintain control over the situation. Does that make you wonder if people are usually better off sharing or keeping things to themselves?
So now tell me that how technology help or hinder emotional support.
It's a total double-edged sword. On one hand, it's a lifesaver for people who feel safer texting their feelings than saying them out loud, or for finding communities where they feel understood. But on the other hand, it's so easy to lose the nuance of a real human connection, like the tone of a voice or the look in someone's eyes, which is where a lot of the actual empathy happens. Do you feel like you're more honest with people over text or in person?
So can you tell me that what should you do if a friend says something in a seriously wrong?
That can be so jarring when someone's tone just doesn't match the moment. I think the best move is to address it in the moment, but gently. Something like, "Hey, the way you said that felt a bit off. Did I read that right?" It gives them a chance to explain or realize they sounded harsher than they meant to without you putting them on the defense. Do you usually call people out on that, or do you tend to let it slide?
So how does cultural influence the way people express concern?
It's a huge factor. In some cultures, concern is very direct and verbal, like a big hug and a tell me everything. In others, it's much more subtle. Maybe it's expressed through actions like bringing someone a meal or just sitting in silence with them rather than asking 100 questions. It's all about what's considered respectful or supportive in that specific environment. I'm curious if you've noticed a difference in how your own family or friends express care compared to other people you know.
Okay, so now the questions I will ask you should have to give me the long answer, okay?
I can do that. I'll dive deep for you.
So now
What's
tell
the
me
first one?
that can showing concern ever be misunderstood and why?
Absolutely. And it happens more often than people realize. It's a delicate dance because the intention behind the concern is rarely the same as how it's received. For one, some people view any kind of inquiry into their emotional state as a challenge or an intrusion. If there's someone who prizes independence and self reliance above all else, a simple, "Are you okay?" can feel like you're calling them weak or suggesting they can't handle their own life. To them, your concern doesn't feel like support, it feels like a judgment of their competence. Then there's the timing. If someone is in the middle of a crisis or just feeling completely overwhelmed, they might not have the mental bandwidth to process your kindness. In that state, a question can feel like another demand on their energy, just one more thing they have to respond to when they're already at their limit. It can come off as prying or even as a way for the other person to satisfy their own curiosity rather than actually helping. And of course, there's the mismatch in communication styles we talked about earlier. If you're a very direct person and the other person prefers subtlety, your directness can feel aggressive or overbearing. They might interpret your concern as you trying to control the situation or push them to talk before they're ready, which creates a wall instead of a bridge. It's that gap
Okay, okay, Maya,
between
enough.
I'm worried about
I
you.
hope I hope you like our conversation. We will meet soon, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.